All right, y'all. So we're getting back to 2020, right? Real estate 2020 with myself and my good friend Karishma. She is a badass down in Houston. I've known her for actually quite a long time now, probably going over a decade. And she has just a really cool story and really does things, I think, the way things should be done. So I've asked her to be on here, and we're going to ask a couple questions, and we'll just see where the conversation goes. And I'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. We'll just see if it's a good time for everybody else. So, all right, my first question. Your background in architecture, like, it gives you a creative edge that most agents don't have. So how has that shaped the way that you see most homes and work with clients? How is that kind of intermingled?
So I moved to this country in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in architecture, and the normal route would be to go and work with a builder and construct homes. But construction back home is very different than construction in the US. And so for me in order to go that route, I had to go back to college, learn the ways. Yeah. So the next route was to get into real estate. Sure. Also, my interest in architecture was more in the design aspect of it than in the build. And so that automatically got me into interior design and staging of homes and all that. So that's how I got into real estate. And you're absolutely right. One of the unique things that we bring to our clients, because there are 49,000 agents in Houston, how do you stand apart?
Jesus.
And one of our strengths is we understand homes like no other agent does. Yeah. My husband and I are partners. He's built homes from A to Z. I've designed and staged homes all my life, so this was a natural path, and this is our strengths that we bring to the table.
Do you like design better than selling houses? Like, what's your passion if you had to choose one?
Oh yes, I love design. The most exciting part about me getting a listing is being able to stage it and showcase it the way others couldn't see before.
That's funny. So are there a lot of different types of, I go to Dallas, actually I'm going there next week, but are there a lot of different types of home, not structures, what's the word, design types, or is it pretty bland down there?
No, actually, each neighborhood is very unique here. So there's a neighborhood here called the Heights. Most of the homes there are the Victorian style homes, which is beautiful, with the porch in the front and the columns. And then, of course, you have the traditional style homes in the suburbs. Near the university, Rice University, which is very popular here, a lot of modern flat roof construction homes. So there are different styles of homes that you will see here, which is very interesting.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So my next official question. So, you watched your father run a business, and it taught you obviously some grit. It probably taught you how to deal with people honestly. So what's one lesson you learned from him that relates to your business today that kind of still shapes the way that you do business? You're a second generation business owner, right? Or maybe third. I don't know how far back it goes.
Second,
What'd you learn from it?
The biggest thing I saw my dad do was he never gave up. He just never gave up. At some point, I even remember when I was maybe about 12 years old, he ran 3 businesses. He had a business from Monday to Friday, which was selling light fixtures. He had a business on Saturday, Sunday. He was a bookie at the race club. And then, I know. And then in the evenings, he ran another business. He was an entrepreneur. And at that time, I didn't understand it. But when I got into business, I would always look back and see he was one hardworking man, always trying his hand in different things. I see that in us too. I ran a restaurant for 3 years while I was doing real estate.
Good gosh, that's 2 industries right there that most people don't want to touch. Oh, gracious.
I know. I realized it was not going well. I knew when to call it quits, and we shut it down. But it was a great experience.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, right? Learning from things that don't work or things that don't bring you joy. All right. So what do you think is one factor that is overlooked? And I don't know, what's one factor that's overlooked when you're selling, when you go to sell houses, how fast it sells or how slow it sells? What's one thing agents can do to maybe through design or staging that could help it move a little bit faster?
So the stats are out there, right? There is data that shows that homes that are staged sell for 80% more faster than any other home that's not staged. Also, it's proven that vacant homes show much smaller than staged homes. So people would think, oh, I'd rather just sell it vacant, but
Right.
the rooms actually look smaller compared to rooms that have furniture in them. So I would say, I think agents who take listings and don't stage them are doing a disservice to their seller, honestly.
That's
That's the
fair.
least you can do. And then, of course, nowadays with social media, the way marketing is, it's a must that you do the videos, the lifestyle videos, showcase the highlights. Earlier, people didn't have those means to do all that. We
Right.
do, and we have a platform that we can showcase it on. So if agents are not making use of that, I think that's very overlooked.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. So do you have like some huge warehouse of furniture, or do you use a company and kind of use their stuff, or?
I do have a storage of
Yeah.
accessories, but we do have two staging companies that we use on a regular basis for furniture when furniture needs to be brought in.
Yeah.
But if the seller has great furniture and we just need to like declutter and do accessories, we do that.
Yeah, we used to have a little staging thing. And we had like a trailer, and it looked like we made people move out in the middle of the night because we had like a ficus and like some bath towels. And then we got
Yeah.
really friendly with a staging company. They do great, and they had tons of stuff. It was always amazed me what they had.
And the before and after is striking. I mean, the seller itself would come back to the house and be like, why are we selling this house?
That's always a great compliment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. So 2 decades into one of the most competitive markets and one of the most competitive places as that. So what are some things that you've learned, and what are some things that you want to unlearn to kind of stay relevant in the business? Because you've got a track record. So what is it?
Okay, what is it that I've learned? I've learned to be a specialist in what you do. You don't have to do it all, right? You don't have to sell it all. Like, be very specific about your niche. It doesn't have to be just geographic. It can be demographic. It can be you love a nonprofit that you're passionate about. Focus on that community. People always think when I say focus on a niche, oh, I have to farm a neighborhood. No, there are different ways of focusing.
Yeah.
You can focus on a certain profession. Like Houston, for example, where I live, we're very close to the medical center. And the neighborhood that I live in and that I farm, they are, physicians are very attracted to those neighborhoods. So that's a demographic you can focus on. So something that I learned over the years was have a niche and be the best at it. It could also be a niche based on property type that you just mentioned. You could focus on just high rises, or you could focus on ranch style properties. And that's a niche that you can focus on because there's a lot to learn in each niche.
Right.
You just have to be the master at it.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Especially as 49,000 agents out there, you definitely have to have that niche, or you're going to get overlooked in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
What I have to unlearn,
Yeah.
if I had to unlearn something, I would have said no to a lot of business that came my way. But when you're a new agent, you don't know that, right? You're always going to try it all. You have to learn
Yep.
by experience.
Absolutely. All right. So speaking of like niches and nonprofits, right? So you've done some powerful community work from hurricane relief. You mentioned mentoring students in your bio stuff. So how has giving back influenced your business? And do you think that's led to some success in your business when you probably didn't even mean to?
Absolutely. So for me, giving back in two different aspects. So giving back to my realtor community first. So I'm very involved in TreePack. I'm a trustee, involved in the technology committee, in the MLS committee, giving them feedback and things like that. That actually led to me winning HAR Realtor of the Year for 2023, which was
Awesome.
huge.
Yes, it is. That is awesome.
It was amazing. Like, it just felt like, oh, all this 20 years of time and effort and work and giving back. Yes, you get the joy of seeing what a difference you make, but the recognition is really nice.
Yeah.
And then giving back to my community. So I'm super passionate about a few causes. And so I'm a member, I'm on the board for Dress for Success, and I'm on the board for Daya, which is a nonprofit for domestic violence against women. And I've been serving on there, helping them. And the connections you make, you learn so much. Nothing goes wasted. That's what I've learned. No matter what you do, nothing goes wasted. Knowledge is always power. And giving back gives you that sense of a little bit of pride,
Right.
but a lot of satisfaction and peace of mind knowing that you could make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's what
awesome.
motivates me every day, to be honest. Like, people always ask me, why do you go volunteer for all these things? And I'm like, because it makes me happy.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you found joy in that because it's hard to find joy in things. So if that makes you happy, that's fantastic. Let's move on to some questions that I like to gear towards more agent focused stuff. Some advice from somebody with experience to maybe somebody that's struggling. So like one of the questions I like to ask people, if you were an agent and you had to be profitable or make some money, I guess we could say, in the first in 90 days, doesn't have to be the first 9 days, but they come to you and they're like, Karishma, I'm having a hard time. I got to make some money or I got to get out in 90 days. What skill would you want them to like focus on, or what would you tell them to do?
Okay, so first and foremost, I would brush up on my scripts inside out.
Yeah.
Because confidence in your conversation creates confidence in your clients. So know your scripts in and out. Be ready for that. Second, I would learn my market numbers, not just prices, the absorption rates, days on the market, and what's actually moving, because knowing your facts builds trust. And finally, I would network like my business depends on it, because it really does.
Yeah.
Real estate is a very relationship business, and your next deal is always just one conversation away. So that's what I would focus on in 90 days.
That is some solid advice. This is a fun one, but if you have to only keep 3 contacts in your phone, like who would they be and why? 3 people. You can only have 3 people's numbers.
Okay. First, it would be my husband. He's been my sounding board, my partner in business from day one. Second, it would have to be my lender, because together we could solve 90% of all challenges that a transaction brings up.
For sure.
And third, I would have my most networked friend, because relationships open doors faster than any marketing campaign.
Absolutely.
So I want to surround myself with people who believe in me, who have given me opportunities. Can I have a fourth one?
Yeah, you can have a substitute just in case somebody doesn't pick up.
A therapist.
Amen. Amen to that. Good
Because real
Lord.
estate can drive you nuts. This business is like so up and down, and having somebody you can just talk to would really help.
Yeah, it's funny how either people really embrace therapy as real estate agents, or like I talked to somebody the other day and they're like, I'm never going to a therapist. I'm like, I mean, you might want to think about that. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm married to one, so that's a 2 for 1. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, some days.
That's nice.
No, it is. Yeah. Marriage and family at that. So we talk a lot. So also, it's kind of a similar question to the 90-day, but like if somebody was starting out in real estate, how would you recommend what would you recommend they do and don't do when it comes to marketing themselves? 'Cause I think so many people waste money and effort on things that actually aren't going to bring them clients.
Right. So I told you I moved to this country, and so my database was zero. I didn't have people who I could call and ask for business. And we were living paycheck to paycheck. So this question is perfect. This is what I did, and it really worked. And I think it still works today. First, I would do open houses. I would do open houses every weekend. I would do multiple open houses back to back, because there's no better and free way to meet motivated buyers. So that would be number 1. 2, I would show up at all community gatherings, at local parks, school events, if you have kids, neighborhood socials. So because once you face people and they feel your energy and they know you, it's easier to trust you.
Sure.
And nowadays, social media, it's free. It's literally free. And you don't have to have a listing or a sale to go on there. So the last 2 months, I tried out something new. I called it the Bellaire Life. Bellaire is the community I specialize in. So I made a new handle called the Bellaire Life. And every week, I would showcase one subdivision inside of that community.
Oh, cool.
And then sometimes I would do a restaurant. Sometimes I would talk about the parks. And so every week, I would post something about Bellaire Life. And already people are like, oh, I love that. Oh, you work in Bellaire, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I've not done any listings or any buyers. I'm just posting about the community. I post numbers. I'll tell them, hey, this week, this home sold. So you become a specialist, and it's all free.
That's great. That's great advice. All right. So last one. You can't, I'm going to put a caveat. You can't say designing houses, but like, what do you think your real estate superpower is?
Actually, it's not houses. I'll tell you. For me, My biggest one is adaptability. To be able to adapt to situations, to be able to adapt to market conditions. I think that's very, very important for every real estate agent. And then emotional intelligence. Those two, like if you have those two, there's no stopping you.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence, because this is a very people business, and just knowing when to put your personal emotions aside and understanding your clients' emotions, where they're coming from, what they mean, what they're going through, to be able to empathize is a superpower.
Yeah. No, that's great.
So,
yeah, some people are like, I'm a good negotiator. Like, man, are you? No, I don't think that's really a superpower. So that's
no,
awesome.
I think for me is being able to adapt, because I've been through two real estate crises, right? 2008 and then 2020. Well, there was one in 2014 and then now 2020.
Yeah.
So just being able to adapt and stay in the business is a superpower.
Amen. Yeah, we've all got some battle scars from those. I mean, I got it in 2006. So yeah, I feel you. Well, thank you for doing this. We're going to have your Instagram stuff in the show notes so people can look you up, follow you, send you referrals. Obviously, I'm sure you'd love to work with some people, but thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge, your experience, and just everything you're doing. And congrats again on the Realtor of the Year thing. 47,000 agents, you got Realtor. Like that is I got out of 4,700 agents. And I thought it was a big deal.
I love it. Yeah.
47,000 though. Good gracious. So yeah, thanks for always sharing, and thanks for being a kind friend.
No, thank you. And thank you for having me. This means a lot. Thank you.